Baking TV. I'm Mrs. D, and I simply love to bake. So, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time, guys, I'm Mrs. D. I'm not a professional, I just like to bake. I grew up baking with my grandmother. I used to bake for my children when they were at home. I have four sons, they're all grown. And I love to bake. So, I love teaching other people how to bake also. If you watched my channel before, I suggest that you go back and watch the video where I taught my husband how to bake. We did a banana pudding cookie. He is not a baker. As a matter of fact, he can't even cook. So you should be able to watch one of my videos, follow along, and then duplicate what I do. So thank you so much for watching today. On today's video, I am going to show you how to make a raspberry lemon pound cake. Now, I am using my basic pound cake recipe. I decided that I wanted to do lemon raspberry because I found some raspberries on sale at my local Costco. So why not? Why not? So I've already prepared what I would call a raspberry puree ahead of time, and I will be mixing that in to our cake batter. I have not decided if I'm going to swirl it in or I haven't decided. You'll just have to continue to follow along and see. The ingredients that you'll need for this recipe are unbleached all-purpose flour, salt, baking soda. I'm using buttermilk for this recipe. You'll need granulated sugar. You'll need room temperature softened butter. You'll need room temperature eggs. For the first time, I am using my Nielsen Massey pure lemon paste, and I'm also going to add a little vanilla extract to our recipe. Now, beforehand, I already prepared my raspberry puree and I tossed a little whole raspberries and a little flour. I may add those to the recipe as well. In any cake or pound cake recipe, the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to cream your butter and sugar. Cream this butter and sugar together for probably about 13-14 minutes until it's pale in color and light and fluffy. Very important during the creaming process that you scrape down your bowl. Alrighty, I think that's long enough. See how pale in color that is? Yep. All right. Alrighty. There is not much vanilla extract in this bottle, so I'm going to add all of it. It's probably a half a teaspoon. That's about it. Oh, that's probably less than a half teaspoon. But what I'm more excited about is using this pure vanilla paste. It smells so delicious. Oh my goodness. It smells just like lemon. All right. And I added a teaspoon. So let's continue to mix this and then add our eggs. When making a pound cake, the next step is just as important as when you are creaming the butter and sugar. So when you're making a pound cake, you want to start with your dry ingredient and end with your dry ingredient. So let's say you were using cream cheese. That would be considered your wet ingredient as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to use half of this, and then I will mix it just a little bit, add my buttermilk, and then in with my flour. All right, that's enough for me because I don't like to over mix my cakes. So I'm going to continue, I'm going to finish this off by mixing it by hand. And now the final step in the process. This is the bundt pan that I decided to use today. I have so many of these that I got on sale at Sur La Table. That's the way I like to say it. Sur La Table. Sur La Table sounds so much fancier. But this is one of my bump pans that I love using when using fruit. I have another video, my blueberry lemon pound cake recipe. You should go back and check that one out because blueberries are in season, so you can bake. You can do that one this spring also, or is it summer? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add half of the batter, and then I'm gonna swirl in some of our puree, and then on top of that, I'll add some of the whole raspberries. I don't want to add too much puree because I don't want my cake to be pink. I want to bake this cake in my preheated 325-degree oven for approximately, let's say, 1 hour. We'll check it at 1 hour, test and see if it's ready. And if not, we'll add some additional time. Because this is so full, I am actually going to put this cake pan inside a pan because I don't like cleaning my oven, even though it's self-cleaning. And I love my oven. It's a convection oven. It's by Bosch. Yeah, I love my little oven. Let's get this in the oven. So I've just removed the cake from the oven and something weird happened. So let me let you see what our cake is looking like. It kind of lifted. You see that hole? But this is the bottom of the cake. So I don't think it's going to have any effect on what the uh, what the other side of the cake looks like. So I'm going to allow this cake to cool for about 15 minutes in the pan, and then we'll turn it out onto this plate and see what we're working with. Okay, here we go. After letting our cake cool for a couple of minutes, about 10, 15 minutes, we're listening for the thud. Listening for the thud. I didn't hear a thud, but I heard something. Oh, oh, okay. So it kind of stuck a little bit, but we still have a beautiful cake. Oh my goodness. Look at that look at the raspberries. So let me let you see what I mean when I say it stuck a little. So yeah, it stuck to the pan a little bit, but it revealed our raspberries. So I think it's beautiful. Take a look at this, guys. Look at that beautiful cake. Look at that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It smells delicious. All I smell is raspberries. Okay, I've let the cake cool completely. It is interesting. No, actually, it's beautiful. Now, I'll tell you what I learned from baking with berries. On Mrs. D's Baking TV, I baked a strawberry pie, and now this is the second or third berry recipe that I had. I did a blueberry lemon pound cake, but this was my first time baking with raspberry. And what I have learned that I will change. So using whole raspberries was probably a good idea, but the puree was just a little too wet in order to bake through and through the cake. As you see, as I showed you before, you can see where the raspberry filling just kind of spilled over on into the cake. And I know you're probably wondering, Mrs. D, what's that right there? Well, I took the extra batter that I had and I made these little mini bundt cakes. See that? So this is what we'll be using for our taste test because this cake is going with me to a party. So let's see, let's taste. I'm hoping to taste the lemon and the raspberry. Mmm, mmm, that makes me happy. Let me tell you what I taste. I taste the lemon just bursting, just exploding in my mouth. And then you get the subtle hint of raspberry. Thank you again for joining me today on Mrs. D's Baking TV. Remember, thumbs up this video, like, share, subscribe, but most of all, bake with your family. Be blessed. Thanks, guys. Bye. Oh, remember, I upload a video almost every Wednesday. How about that? Thank you again. Bye.